G'day, I'm Lottie.
And I'm Peter, and we're from Tankside Assist down here in Australia. We run a company and we restore military tanks and equipment to nut and bolt restorations. We get them running.
And today we're going to be checking out Steel Aces, their in-game vehicle models, and see if they got them right.
Hi guys, it's Peter and Lottie again, and we have a very special guest today. I'll just pass you over to Lottie now, and we'll go from there.
G'day, it's Lottie here, and today, as Peter mentioned, we have a very special guest. It is Jeremy, the Executive Director of the Canadian Tank Museum. How are you today?
I'm pretty good, Peter and Lottie. Thanks for having me on.
Fantastic. Now today, not only do we have a very special guest, but we have a very special vehicle. Today we are covering the Canadian Fox armored car. This is one of the few vehicles that I've had the pleasure of both driving in real life and in the video game world. Specifically, the current decals you see before you are based off a real Canadian Fox armored car that is evident in the Canadian Tank Museum.
Yeah, it's our pride and joy here at the Canadian Tank Museum. I mean, we have a lot of vehicles, but specifically, this vehicle, for it to appear in the Steel Aces game, means a lot to us because it's helping tell the story about this vehicle and Canadian military pattern vehicles.
Peter, is there anything you have seen that you absolutely love mechanically?
Mechanically about this one, you've driven it and I've guided it, and it's built on a CMP chassis from Oshawa in Canada, and Jeremy once told me there's a second steering wheel inside at the back. So can you explain a bit about that, please, Jeremy?
Yeah, it was not very commonly used. It was an interesting innovation that they had at General Motors Canada. The idea was that should the driver be incapacitated, because remember, this is a reconnaissance vehicle, that the crew, through the back of the vehicle, had controls both for the throttle, for the gear changing, and actually a steering wheel. Now, there's situational awareness from inside the turret to the rear of the vehicle. That would have been a challenge, but it was a strange innovation that you won't see in, for instance, like the Humber armored car, that would allow the crew, if they were in a lot of trouble, to at least back up the vehicle or get out of a dangerous situation.
Oh, that sounds really great. Yeah, I was fully unaware of that. And when we were driving it, it was an interesting note there. Lottie, you're pretty good on the history on these things, and with the similarity to the Australian Humber or the British-built Humber.
Yeah, fortunately, I have also driven its distant cousin, the Humber armored car. While we are talking about the Fox, I will say it's slightly better, although still just as terrifically cramped to crawl in and out of. The only logical entrance and exit point is the left-hand door. We can swing around and have a look at that. So that is the only normal way of getting in and out, although you can climb on top of the vehicle and get in through the turret, as most of the crew would do. For the driver, however, it's generally through the side. Lots of banging heads and a lot of few choice words when entering and exiting.
Absolutely. These I can't get in through the side. I'm about 6 foot, about 200 pounds, and it's to get past the turret basket and everything is a bit too difficult. So I just slide in through the top and then slide forward into the driver's position. That's the only way I can get into them.
And I mean, I've had a number of tank bites working on vehicles here, and as much as I love this vehicle, and every time I get into it, I seem to bash the back of my head on one of the machine guns. So yeah, it's very tight to get in. Crew comfort was definitely not a design feature, more functionality.
Now, as you are far more intimately familiar with this particular Fox armored car, is there anything in the model that really jumps out to you as being like, oh wow, that's, they really captured that?
I mean, I remember when I first saw the model and I was just struck, as it's almost as if the garage it's in should be designed to be the Canadian Tank Museum, because it's so exact in a couple of things, and I'll point out those features. I remember after seeing the model, I walked out into the museum walked up and touched our GM Fox and had a look at it and compared it. They've done an incredible job. A couple of things, like on the front of the vehicle, and here again, for those that are unfamiliar with the GM Fox Mark I, you can tell right away that this is a GM Canada vehicle by that little gold badge right there on the front glacis plate. That actually says GM with the Canadian maple leaf on it. So that's the first tell that it is a Canadian built vehicle. And also just something that's a connection to this vehicle's actually history is on the right side of the glacis plate there. You see that little smudged sticker? That comes from Italy. And that's on the actual vehicle in the Canadian Tank Museum. And what that is that's an award by the Italian Military Vehicle Preservation Association that this vehicle was awarded, and its original restorer, Luigi Paletto from Italy, proudly kept that sticker on the vehicle. And it's part of its history, and his story is a big part of this vehicle's history and why it still exists, as one of only 7 examples in the world. So those small little pieces that are attention to detail really brought it home to me. And again, look at the camo pattern on the vehicle. Maybe, you can talk more about this if this was used on other Commonwealth or Australian vehicles, but those bubbles, those black bubbles, they were very commonly known amongst the Canadian troops as Mickey Mouse camo pattern, because it was kind of like Mickey Mouse's ears. And that was super common in Canadian military vehicles in the Italian theater. So, the accuracy in the model and right down to those tiny little details that tell the story of this specific vehicle, making it special. I haven't seen any other model in a game like it.
That's fantastic. There you go. You learn something every day. Just really quickly, I'll pull us around to the bottom of the Fox and we'll get Peter to briefly mention some of the complexities.
Oh, well, I can't see much from here, but I have seen underneath those, and the detail in the model is very good and moving as well, which you'll see if you play the game. You'll see the suspension and the wheels and tires and everything moving. So it's pretty much standard. It's 4-wheel drive, 6-cylinder motor in the back, petrol, not diesel. Oh, hang on. I don't know. That's a petrol in the back, isn't it, Jeremy, in this one?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's right, Peter.
Yeah. 6-cylinder petrol. Yeah, same as the FATs or the CMPs here in Australia. This particular model has in the rear differential there is that needs the plate on the back of the rear differential needs to be painted white. That's the only difference I can really see, and that's for convoy following. There's a light that shines on that white reflective surface, so when you're following it in the dark, you can see the vehicle in front of you. Otherwise, it looks really good. Yeah, and it's another awesome example from Steel Aces with this model, and we're very excited to be going over there shortly. Probably have another drive of it if Jeremy will let us.
Yeah, it'll definitely be in this year's Aquino Tank Weekend show. And I really look forward for you guys to come over here and get closer to this and some other stuff that we have planned for you. Even like the dirt on the tires. It looks like it's been kicking around the Steel Aces Tank Arena for some time. Like the patina of a military vehicle, as we know, they're not Cadillacs. So, military vehicles will have scratches, dents, and patina from its service. And just the way that it was captured in the artwork really makes this the Canadian Tank Museum's GM Fox Mark I.
Fantastic. It is truly one of the best looking vehicles in Steel Aces at the moment. Absolutely love it. With that, I think we will pass it off and round it up. I hope you all enjoyed this little walk around with our very special guest, Jeremy, the Executive Director from the Canadian Tank Museum, and Peter and myself. So, from all of us, thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one.